ABC analysis. What is ABC analysis? It is a form of inventory control. It is basically a form of inventory control or material cost control, wherein we will be exercising control over materials by classifying them into three categories. The materials would be classified into three categories. It is categorized as category A, category B, and category C. See, why we should classify the material into three categories. We are classifying because the category A would generally be called as highly important materials, and category B would be called as moderately important materials, and category C material would be called as least important materials. So we are going to classify the material into three categories as highly important, moderately important, and least important. So if you see the value of the materials in percentage, let's say the highly important material constitutes 70% in value, 70% in value, and moderately important materials constitutes 20% in value, and least important material constitutes 10% in value. But if you take the percentage in quantity, the highly important materials which are 70% in value would be only 10% of total quantity, and the moderately important materials would be say 20% in quantity, whereas least important materials which are 10% in value would be 70% in quantity. So now we understand that there are three categories of materials, and certain materials would be too huge in quantity but they are very less in value, and certain materials they are very less in quantity and too huge in value. So now we can decide how we should place our control. It is not going to reward us if all our attention is on this 70% because its value is only 10%. So our more attention should be on those material though they are only 10% in quantity, their value is 70%. So how our control should be? We should have constant control on these materials which may be classified as A category. We should have strict control. We should check their stock levels periodically. We should have budgets. We should evaluate their ratios. We should have economic order quantity for all those materials which come under category A. Whereas for the material under category B, it would be sufficient if we just go on need based. Whereas the material under category C, where they are 70% in quantity but only 10% in value, we can exercise very little control over them. We can focus on saving the associated cost. So this is the advantage of your ABC analysis, wherein you categorize the material into three. You will find which is highly important, which is moderately, and which is least important, and you can decide your control based on the category of materials. So this has its own advantages. So let us understand what are the advantages of ABC analysis. Number one, you will have smooth flow. That's more important because ABC analysis is going to ensure that the minimum investment will be made in inventories of stocks of materials without affecting the production schedule. Number two, this is going to ensure cost savings because the cost of placing orders, receiving the goods, and maintaining the stocks is minimized, especially if you have the system that is coupled with determination of proper what is known as economic order quantity. The third advantage is you are going to employ what is known as control by exception. Here the management time is saved because the management is going to pay its attention only on A category items. Here the attention need to be paid only to some of the items rather than all items. So you are going to have control by exception. And number 4, you will have standardization of work. Standardization of work is possible by introducing the ABC system, so much of the work which is connected with the purchases can be systematized on a routine basis and it can be handled by subordinate staffs itself.
Are you a lifelong learner interested in learning various matters related to finance, accounting and banking? Then we have a good news for you. At CA Raja Classes, we have published a comprehensive membership program called Diamond Ultimate Membership. This membership comes with access to 130 plus courses, 100 plus ebooks and assurance of free access to future publications as well. To join this membership, to know more about this membership, just comment DUM. I'll share more details.